welcome back to our community spotlight. This is Amy Harold out at the Enterprise Co-working office in the Denver Tech Center. I am so happy to be joined by Yolanda Washington, who is one of our newer members. Her company, Now You Lay Me Down to Sleep Agency and Training Academy. Yolanda, thank you so much for being with me today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. I am very excited to sit down with you and learn more about you and your business. Um, you have some pretty outstanding credentials for your company. Yolanda has over 30 years of experience with newborn care specialist, certified postpartum doula, certified new parent educator, lactation education, birth doula, pediatric sleep coach, and first aid CPR instructor. So, bravo. Look at
That's a lot,
your
right?
credentials. So awesome. So, tell me a little bit about your company and what you guys do.
So now you lay me down to sleep. We have a lot of moving parts, and we do that intentionally because we love to service our parents, our new parents. So we send out our postpartum doulas, newborn care specialists to help mommies and families when they first come home from the hospital because they don't get instructions, really a whole lot of instructions when they leave the hospital. And a lot of our families are first time mommies and fathers. And so we go in and we help support that. And anything from whatever they need, if it's a little bit of house cleaning, taking care of their babies, walking them through lactation, giving them new parent information on how to even handle and move into becoming a new parent.
Right.
Because it's very different. It's not just you pick up your baby, you have your baby and you go home and you're okay. There's a lot of moving pieces for them as well. And so we go in and we just help with that. And then we teach first aid CPR. We work with babies that come home with oxygen or come out of the NICU. So we do a lot just to support our families.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sure there are some people, like you said, if they have a newborn that has some issues, they're coming home with oxygen, those parents in particular, I'm sure are, really thankful to have the additional help. But really, any parent, I mean,
Yes.
just because you have a baby and then you go home, there's no manual. Like, so to have a resource like you and your company, I think is so valuable. So valuable.
Well, we find that it's different because I have five. I have
Yeah.
five children of my own, but I will tell you, each one is different.
Yeah.
So no matter how many children you have, there's still something to learn. And then, of course, kids are very unpredictable. So you always find that one doesn't act the same as the other, even though we have a baseline of what we use. But it's all new. So each baby is new.
Right.
So even if they have two or three children, they find that they're dealing with something they didn't deal with the first one or the second one. And so we go in and we support that. And we get to know the babies as individuals
Yeah.
versus just kind of putting them in one group and saying, oh, this is what all babies do. We go in and we learn their child individually. And
Right.
then we give them the support for each individual child.
Yeah. And and the families too. Every family's a little bit different. You know, that's
Well,
so
one of the things
valuable.
that is becoming really apparent is the help for the mental health side of it. So we're
Right.
also trained in mental health with postpartum depression,
Right.
postpartum anxiety, even postpartum psychosis, which is really becoming a lot of research is being done on that.
Right.
They're finding that a lot of parents, and not just the moms, we have dads that deal with postpartum depression as well,
Wow.
and that's starting to become um, an area where we really support the fathers because we find that sometimes they have postpartum depression and they just don't talk about it.
Right.
So it's a lot. I love what we do.
Yeah.
I didn't have it when I had my children.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why I do what I do, and I love it. And we've been in homes for about 17 years now.
Wow. Wow. Is
Yes.
that when now have you started your business 17 years ago or yeah. That's
Yes,
incredible, incredible. And then, so, I mean, you've told us a little bit about what makes you guys different from any other, businesses in this field. But tell me, I think the mental health piece is really huge. I think
it is.
that a lot of women deal with all the hormonal and physical changes after having birth, having given birth, and can be affected to varying degrees because of that. But yeah, that's really interesting that fathers can also be affected by that.
Well, they can because fathers are now really involved.
Yeah,
It used to be where the fathers really, really wasn't involved and they didn't allow them to be. So
yeah,
now things have changed. Fathers want to be involved. They want to help their spouse or help their significant other get through this process and also bond with their baby.
yeah,
And so they're more prone to the postpartum depression because they're awake at night as well. They're helping the mom process things. And it can be a lot. It can be very overwhelming, especially for dads, because they're not prepared. They don't do a whole lot to prepare the dads.
right,
So that's where we come in to make sure our dads are prepared or walk them through. We even talk about their mental health when we go in
yeah,
and find out what they need. Also, help them understand it's okay to go do something different. When we're there, get out. If you like to go to the gym,
take a
go to,
break.
go play golf. Go do something to kind of get your mind at ease. So when
Yeah,
you come back and you're dealing with mom and she's going through all these hormonal, issues and you're more, I should say, calm and a
yeah,
little bit more stable minded because you've had an outlet,
yeah,
So we do a lot of coaching
yeah. That's
as
amazing.
well.
So, I'm interested in kind of how this works for you. So, do people call on you guys when they need help? Are you like, kind of, how does the business work in that way? I'm sure people call on you if they're looking for nannies or childcare services, which you do place for people as well.
We
But like,
do.
if a new parent, are they reaching out to you when they're having issues? You work with them leading up to the birth and then post birth too, or how does it work?
So we do some of both.
Okay.
But we've been word of mouth for the last 8 years. And so our clientele calls us early.
Yeah.
Most will call as soon as they find out they're pregnant.
Yeah.
I have moms that call before they even go to the doctor.
Yeah.
And they get on for me, I'm always booked out well into the next year. And then I have about 60 other postpartum doulas, newborn care specialists that also I place regularly. And so
Yeah.
what we do is they call in, we do their consult, and a lot of times they book early. At least I'd say most of them are 6 to 7 months out when they book with us.
Yeah.
And so on the birth side, because we do have birth doulas, the
Okay.
birth doulas will walk with them through their pregnancy, go to some of their visits, make sure everything's okay, and then walk with them through their birth.
Yeah.
And then you have what I do is the postpartum doula side. I come in once they come home from the hospital.
Okay.
I do stay in touch with them along the way. And then once they come home, we find out, how the birth went, if they had a traumatic birth. And
Right.
some moms don't realize some of the things they went through was a traumatic birth. And so
Yeah.
we recommend, mental health services and anything they need to help them get past that. And
Yeah.
then we do newborn care specialist work is where we go in and we tend to that newborn,
Right.
get that newborn on a good sleep schedule, make sure there's nothing that's bothering that newborn. Like um, we keep an eye on like reflux or tongue ties or any type of oral issues. We don't diagnose because we're not medical, but
Right.
we are able to say, hey, you might want to call your pediatrician or your lactation specialist to talk to them about, things that we're seeing. So our job is pretty much to be that guide for that first 3 to 4 months.
Right.
What we do, and we go in at night somewhere around. We can go in as early as 8 o'clock, and we
Okay.
get off at 6 in the morning, or we
Yeah.
go in as late as 10 o'clock till 6 in the morning. And
Yeah.
that helps the parents rest because we find that postpartum depression is better dealt with sleep.
Yeah.
Don't, they have it because they're the lack of sleep. So
Yeah.
our job is to go in and help those parents get a good night's sleep, get on a good track. So that way, when they go back to work, they're feeling confident as new
Yeah,
parents.
they're going to be rested and much
Yes.
better able to work with their own child and figure things out when they have had a good night's sleep, I'm sure.
Correct, because that's their biggest concern is lack of sleep. And
Yeah,
we find a lot of families, given the way how the work systems are now set up, there's just a lot. They're very busy.
yeah,
Um, Statistics show that our parents now are very well educated, but struggle in the parenting side because they spend a lot of time on their education and not much time and information around children.
right.
So we have they're really good at what they do, and then when it comes to the parenting, they're just like we have no clue. And so
Yeah,
that's where we come in also to help educate them. I have
yeah,
parents that call me well after their child is 2 and 3 years old.
yeah.
um, we tend to go back and help them support through that time period as well.
I mean, that's so incredible to be able to help these new parents and new children, but then to be almost like a lifelong source for
Yes.
you guys, a contact that if a mom is dealing with something she doesn't know, you guys are there for her to, or the dad to reach out to and get that advice. I mean, you're an expert in the field. You've
Mhm.
probably seen it all. So that's amazing. That's like the greatest support for new parents that you could
It
offer.
is. And we're on call 24 hours a day,
Yeah,
7 days a week. So they
yeah,
can call us at any time if
yeah,
they're really struggling.
yeah,
We've had moms that call us and we have to go immediately,
yeah,
because mom is really having a hard time. So we
yeah.
really love and support our families. And then we create relationships that are
100.
lifelong relationships with our families. And
Yeah,
so they refer us to their friends and families. So it's a great resource,
yeah.
for, I mean, just new moms. We even have where we accept like Medicaid and other types of insurance that
Yeah.
can help our new parents as well.
Interesting. That was going to be my next question is when I first learned about your business, I wondered if you had any kind of relationships with any hospitals or physicians or anything like that that would refer your services to parents, or what does that look like, and or are you guys just word of mouth more from on the parent side of it?
Oh no, we have connections.
Yeah.
We're with Children's Hospital,
Okay.
because we do a service. Connected to a nonprofit called Crib for Kids, and
Okay.
that's for moms that or families that can't afford to purchase a crib for their babies. And
Yeah.
so we provide free training, free cribs for those parents, just to make sure their babies have a safe place to sleep.
That's
Because
amazing.
it's a big one that we like to tackle and
Yeah.
try to get ahead of. And that's one of the issues is not having a safe place for their babies to sleep. So we partner with Cribs for Kids for that. We're also connected to some of the other hospitals and pediatricians. We have lactation specialists that work with us, that we're connected to. So we have referrals in quite a few places.
Yeah. Yeah. That is amazing. And thank you for the work that you're doing with the nonprofit to help those families and those children. That is really amazing. Um, my next question, why did you choose enterprise co-working?
So I'll give you the short story. We decided to downsize. We were in another building and we had at least about 4 or 5 rooms in that office, and we had our training center was in house, and we're looking to grow. We're starting to grow, and we realized we were outgrowing that space, so we decided to downsize. And we looked at a couple other co-working places, just to see what was a great fit. But I tell you, we love this space. For one, it feels very vibrant.
Yeah.
Um, we love the glass doors, the glass windows. It just fit. I should say my style.
Yeah.
It fit my style. Plus, it was. I like the cost. It really allowed us to cut our costs and really maximize our budget.
Yeah.
And I just love the. I mean, you're very sweet, very friendly. I love the people that we talked to, even downtown. We went
Yeah.
to the downtown location just to take a look around.
Yeah.
we love how people are busy, businesses are, operating, and it just feels like you can work, like,
Yeah.
you can grow. And my son also works with me, and so we looked very closely at
Yeah.
our spaces before we chose, and you guys was our favorite, just
And,
because of what you offer.
thank you so much for saying that. And we appreciate having you guys and have really enjoyed, I've enjoyed getting to know you and your son. And you guys with your training courses, we have the space
We
that
do.
really works for you guys to offer those and makes it easy for your attendees to utilize our form classroom and then also our smaller training room that we have here too. So
And
I
that's what
think,
I love,
yeah,
your options. You have, what I believe, 5 different rooms.
yep.
And
And then the big training room. Yeah.
exactly. And so sometimes our classes can get pretty large, up to about 20, students in one class. We're getting ready to do another class where there's a possibility of 50 people. And so not having to go look for a bigger space or go with a smaller space, you guys have it all. And so
Perfect.
that's what we looked at, is like, if we're going to downsize, can we do our classes and still be in the same place? And that's what we love about Enterprise.
Good, good. Um, Now, speaking directly to our enterprise members, do you have anything you want to tell them, want them to know, maybe upcoming events? If maybe our members have siblings or children that are coming of age to start babysitting, I know you offer CPR training. Do you have
Do.
anything coming up or that you want to say to our viewers?
So we do. We have we're always doing our babysitting class, and that's for ages. They can come in as early as 10,
Okay.
and we go up to about 17 years of age, and we teach them how to run a successful babysitting business. We mentor them. We also have a babysitters. Next year, we're going to do a babysitters camp, which is going to offer a little bit more for our babysitters than just the one class that they take. We
Yeah.
do teach businesses first aid CPR. And so if they have, their company and they want people to learn first aid CPR, we do that. We also go out on site as well. So if they have a remote site or a different site that they have, we can go out and teach first aid CPR to them as well.
Okay, okay, that sounds wonderful. And we will put, Yolanda, the link to your company's website and any
Okay.
contact information so that people can learn more about your business. Um, and if anybody has an opportunity or has a parent to be that is looking for these kind of services, or that, I mean, I feel like any parent to be could benefit from the services
Very
that
much
you
so.
guys offer. So, Yolanda, thank you so much for
Thank
sitting
you.
down with me today. I really enjoyed getting to learn more about your business, and hopefully our members will too. And yeah, we'll put your contact info on and links in the page below. Okay.
Yes, thank you so much. Yes,
Yeah.
anybody who's reaching, if you got a baby coming, know
Yeah.
someone that's having a baby, or if you just got questions,
Yeah.
reach out to us.
All right, Yolanda. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time and thanks for checking out this month's Community Spotlight.